Cricket, our national treasure? Or dying irrelevance? Bodyline, tactical genius? Or national disgrace? The 100, inspired innovation? Or misguided mistake? Join the cricket conversation with a subscription to the Cricketer magazine.
Welcome to your Saturday night slice of the Quarantine Cup pie and a game between Glamorgan and Surrey. Now Glamorgan go into this game having only played once so far in the competition. Roman Walker has had something of a watching brief to date, and in fact he goes into this game with his opponents already knocked out. In the one game that he did play, he showed plenty of proficiency with both bat and ball in a 4-wicket victory over Leicestershire's Hassan Azad, and he'll be hoping to get another 2 points as he tries to keep tabs on the top two in Group 2. For Sophia, Dunkley and Surrey, this is a final chance to find some form and return some pride to the county, having lost 3 out of 3, 2 really quite convincingly. In fact, she struggled with the bat with the exception of the game against Tamal Mills and Sussex, bowled out for just 9 in a recent defeat. Is going to need a huge improvement if she's going to upset the odds and take at least one win from her time in the Quarantine Cup in 2020. Right, it's nearly time to head over to the commentators, but before we do, a quick look at the Group 2 table. As you can see, 3 teams on 2 points and all to play for as we go over to Adam Collins and Daniel Norcross.
Welcome back to the Quarantine Cup on the cricketer.com. Game 17 in Group 2, Glamorgan and Surrey at Adelaide Oval. Glamorgan won their only game so far, thumping Leicestershire. Surrey, by contrast, they lost all 3 games to Leicestershire. Sussex and Kent lost to 5 wickets by Kent. Surrey in a lot of trouble, Dan. They have to win today.
They really do have to win. They've got some of the big guns back finally. Jason Roy, Sam Curran, Ollie Pope's in there, but still no place for Tom Curran, Liam Plunkett, Mordy Morkel, Amar Verdi. Then at the Adelaide Oval, you might have thought that any of them would have been handy. Maybe they just weren't keen to travel the 12,000 miles for this match. Jay Dernbach captaining Surrey there at the toss. He's called tails. Back over to you, Colo.
Well, we know it's always a good hard track there at Adelaide Oval. Glamorgan have won the toss. The call wasn't correct by Dernbach. We see the pitch is a little bit soft, a few cracks, so Glamorgan are going to take advantage of the conditions here and bat first. Daniel Norcross, Glamorgan, they've only played 1 game so far, so a good opportunity to not only eliminate Surrey, but ensure that they're right up the top of the business end.
They've looked good as well, haven't they? Roman Walker on the controls has looked absolutely splendid. For Dunkley, as you say, it's Last Chance Saloon. She is actually hammering those drinks in the Last Chance Saloon. She's got a better chance, you would think, and her performances have been getting better match on match. But today, it's win or bust. Sam Curran's going to take the new ball.
And David Lloyd, the man facing the first ball of this game. Curran, short of a length. Lloyd pulling through the onside, making decent contact past the man at backward square and 4 runs straight away. A nice shot into the gap. The perfect start. Not the perfect start. The perfect start would have been 6, but a very good start for Glamorgan.
Just about a yard or so inside the boundary. There's no one down there at deep backward square. Slight adjustment of the field, but there's no one at long leg either. There's a deep mid-wicket, deep square leg and a cover. I don't know if that's quite the right field for Sam Curran. And
He's
he doesn't
going to
slip
have to
in
be accurate,
either.
isn't he? Deep point, the other sweeper. This again is on leg stump, pulling in the same direction. Has he got it over the rope on this occasion? He has not. He's caught. Lloyd's caught second ball at square leg. Curran, a fraction quicker on that occasion perhaps. Not quite through the stroke, and the error is made and the wicket is found.
Actually, that's pretty clever stuff there from Dunkley on the control. She's moved her square leg just that little bit squarer, and that ball hurried on, I would say, to Lloyd. He wasn't able to get quite the same flick down fine through long leg, and he spooned up a simple catch to Ryan Patel. Early wickets can be oh so important. They put such pressure on that side batting first. Remember, 5 out, all out. Surrey need those wickets, but striding to the crease. The man who looks like a kind of, you know those mashups they do of people's faces, and they've got like 3 faces in one. That is Marnus Labuschagne. He is a walking, moving, prodigious run-scoring facial mashup.
Of course, a man who has made a test century on this ground late last year, facing Sam Curran. I'm sure we're going to see Curran and Labuschagne up against each other in international ranks into the future many, many times. The first ball here in this combination is pushed to square leg. They take a single, nicely run. So Labuschagne's off the mark at the first time of asking. Glamorgan 5 for 1.
I think they may have crossed actually off the previous
Oh, they
deliveries.
did indeed. So
This-
Cook's off the mark, I should say. Labuschagne now will face his first delivery. My apologies. Curran again setting off and delivers. Labuschagne on leg stump. Goes high and long. Out towards deep square leg. Has it got the legs? It does. He's given that plenty into the chapel stand. 151 yards. What a way to walk out to the middle and make your presence felt.
Yeah, well, this Welshman is something else, isn't he, Marnus Labuschagne? Taking advantage, I guess, of the wide open spaces in the Quarantine Cup. In order to get social distancing, the grounds have been, if you like, expanded that little bit. So 151 yards, so it's still into the crowd. And what a start. Another beautiful little flick. I don't know if Curran's quite got his line right yet.
Curran again to Labuschagne. This is full outside the off stump, driven gracefully through extra cover. Wow, what a shot that is.
Shot of the cup for me, Colo, that in total control. And it just shows this guy's a full 180 player, isn't he? I mean, he can play on one side of the wicket and on the other. Not seeing much in the way of the old, the fine dab or the reverse, but take a look at that cover drive. High elbow, keeps the pose for the camera. What a shot that is. 6-4
This is why
start.
he's so highly rated by those around the world. Of course, a Wisden Almanac Cricketer of the Year just last month, Labuschagne. The last ball of Curran's over. 15 runs and a wicket from it. How will it finish? He drives again to the man at mid-off. They take a single. There's a dive made by Labuschagne to make sure of it. So 16 for 1 at the end of the first over of this game. Curran striking, but then Labuschagne striking a 6 then a 4 himself to ensure that Glamorgan, you'd take that, wouldn't you? You'd concede, you concede the wicket if it means adding 16.
Well, and especially with the big threat that Curran has first up, getting no swing whatsoever. I think the conditions out there are just going to see that ball coming on, gun barrel straight. 16 off the first over after losing a wicket. He had put Glamorgan just in front. But wickets, wickets, wickets. That's what Sophia Dunkley will be looking for. And here's Jade Dernbach.
The skipper Dernbach, his first ball to Labuschagne, short of length on the offside. Lovely wrist to mid-wicket, caught, gone! Dernbach, wicket, first ball. Well, that's the change of pace we know from Jade over the years. Labuschagne was early into the stroke, spooning up the easiest of chances. So after finding the boundary on a couple of occasions, the danger man is gone for Glamorgan.
It's a limp dismissal, isn't it? Really an easy catch for Jason Roy. Labuschagne gone for a quick fire 11, but props to Jade Dernbach there. He's just run his fingers over the ball. It's stuck in the pitch. Labuschagne threw the shot too early. Second wicket goes down. A little bit of pressure on now with Billy Root, the new man. Joe Root's brother, of course, left-hander. Used to play for Nottinghamshire. Moved to Glamorgan a couple of seasons ago. Had a fantastic 2019 with the bat. Let's see how he gets on today.
So Dernbach to Root, the southpaw, first ball through mid-wicket along the carpet, through the gap. He struck that really well. They'll come back for 2. No risk runs there. So 18 for 2 the score now for Glamorgan. From Surrey's perspective, from Dunkley's perspective, Daniel, it's all about taking 5 wickets, isn't it? If you get 2 wickets in the first 7 balls, you have every chance of bowling out your opposition.
Well, indeed, one more, and she'll be all over Glamorgan like a cheap suit. She'll be looking for that, well, 3rd, 4th wicket. If she can get them 4 down early, that puts enormous pressure on Walker and Glamorgan.
Dernbach, with all his experience, goes short to Root and strikes him on the lid. A run-out opportunity. They come through for the leg by. Good diving effort there from Cook to ensure that he makes his ground. You don't see that very often. The batsman felled and they take a leg by anyway.
Yeah, you've got to be slightly concerned there for Dunkley's feeling. There was a wicked opportunity. Slip in, though, like this, attacking.
Dernbach over the wicket on this occasion and beating the batter Cook. Big swing and a miss into the safe gloves of Ben Folkes behind the sticks. So Dernbach, tattoos down both arms, as we're seeing on the close-up camera there. Doing a very fine job. 1 wicket, only 3 runs from 4 deliveries, which is precious in 5-5s cricket. He goes again to Cook on off stump, makes contact. To mid-wicket he goes for a single. So again, the work has been good here from Dernbach. Just 77 miles an hour on that one, so fingers down the seam.
No risk cricket this at the moment from Glamorgan. They're just trying to dig in after the loss of those 2 early wickets. Dernbach, can he finish off his over here? He's only gone for 4 runs off the first 5 balls of this over.
Final ball, Dernbach to Root, short, leg stump, pulled through the onside, struck well to the man at deep backward square. They take 1. What are they doing? Coming back for 2? No, run out. Oh, what is going on there? That is a huge error in the context of this game. Glamorgan, after batting so conservatively, have now lost a 3rd wicket, a second from the over. Dernbach bookends his over. 1 wicket to start, then a run out to finish it. Folkes does the work. Daniel Norcross.
Oh dear, Cook there is ball watching. He's ball watching, but gently ambling out of his crease. He didn't get anything from Root. Root wasn't interested in the second. It was never on. Decent throw. Excellent pickup from Folkes as well. Those ones can be quite tough, can't they? Sort of half volley. Close enough to the stumps though. And Cook, dawdling, goes for well, that was a disappointing and wretched 2. Right, they did pick up the 1 run. It means the end of the over. They're 4 for 21, 3 for 21, I beg your pardon. 3 for 21. Another wicket now, and Glamorgan really would be on the brink. Dunkley may be sniffing an opportunity. She's not had the best of tournaments, let's make no bones about it, but she's getting better with every game.
Well, if they don't win here, it's their final group game either way. They need to win here. Scott Borthwick, it says finger spin according to the markers. He did bowl leg spin in a test match many years ago. So Borthwick, unexpected bowling here to Root. His first delivery on leg stump. He's taken around the corner for at least 1. They'll probably come back for a second. They do, because Folkes is doing the work. Look at Ben Folkes go. Like he's running the 100 metres at the Olympics. And they turn for a 3rd, advancing Glamorgan to 24 for 3 after 2.1 overs, so no one behind square down.
Well, everything was curious about that, wasn't it? I mean, firstly, there's Borthwick, who's now adopting off-spin rather than leg spin. You've got no fine leg, and he's bowling at all. I mean, there's Gareth Batty, there's Jordan Clark. She's gone straight for Borthwick.
Borthwick the hemp freak. Oh, he's bowled him! Oh, there you go. Scott Borthwick, not a lot on the off-break there, but straight through, full swing, miss, stumps everywhere. 4 wickets down for Glamorgan. And I tell you what, Surrey, the underdogs in this contest are right on top.
Just a flat Yorker, isn't it, from Borthwick? Hemphrey was absolutely nowhere. 4 down now. Sophia Dunkley must be sniffing glory. 1 more wicket, and surely this game is in the bag. Wow. Look, we bagged her for putting Borthwick on. She obviously knows something we don't. She trains with Borthwick. She's been around that Oval camp for quite some time. Something must have happened in the closed season. Whatever it is, it's good news for Surrey and it's good news for Dunkley.
1 wicket required for Surrey as Borthwick bowls to the new man Douthwaite. And this first ball's gone long and high and powerfully. Wow. That's a long way back into the football stand. Indeed, it's through the dugout, out towards the practice wickets. That's gone a mile. What a way to start.
That's a risk, isn't it? If you just get that length ever so slightly wrong at Borthwick's pace, you're going to go the distance. And Douthwaite, that's his first ball, let's not forget. He's seeing it like a football. Dunkley needs to be on her game here. She can't let Glamorgan get away. She's got him where she wants him. One more wicket, that's all she needs here.
Got the leg slip or leg gully in place as Borthwick bowls again to Douthwaite, who plays out towards extra cover. And there's a drop catch! Oh, drop catch. They come back for two, but forget about that. Oh, that would have been innings over and just about game over. Spilling the chance at long off. Could that be the pivotal moment down Norcross? You can't be dropping catches like that in the Quarantine Cup.
Well, time's going to tell, isn't it? And if either of these two get away, then Sophia Dunkley could have nightmares about this moment. It's Jordan Clark down there in a kind of halfway house position. It was at a lovely height. It was around about waist height. He had both hands to it. I don't know what he was thinking. It's spilt. They picked up two.
Borthwick to Douthwaite, who makes them pay. He makes them pay. Into the members' stand it goes. Again down the dugout. Once more out towards the practice wickets at Adelaide Oval. Out towards the North Gate. That has gone a long way. 2 sixes in the over. The drop catch. It is all happening in the City of Churches.
There's a rueful look on Borthwick's face there. He knows that he could have had this innings wrapped up the ball before and virtually had the match home and hosed for Surrey. Instead, Douthwaite's pumped him for six. There's one ball left in the over. How's he going to finish this over? He's already gone for 2 sixes, a 3 and a 2. 17 of it already. One ball left in it. Oof.
Borthwick to Douthwaite. One more time. Once more with gusto. Whoa, that's the biggest one yet. Look at it go. Wow. What a strike of the cricket ball that is. 114 yards, a wicket, a drop catch and 3 sixes in the over. Suddenly Glamorgan are limping, now striding towards a score of credibility.
She is a cruel mistress, cricket. She brings tears to your eyes and blood to your shoulders. 23 runs up that over from Borthwick. We wondered what he was doing on. He picked up a wicket off the second ball. He should have had a wicket off the fourth ball. He could have been a hero. Instead, he is most definitely a mustachio villain. 1 for 23. Jeez.
Well, you're thinking now, with Douthwaite going the way that he is, you should just let the good times roll, shouldn't you? Almost disregard the fact that you're playing with your last batter, as it were, and just let Root turn the strike over and give it back to the guy in form. Jordan Clark bowling here over the wicket. His first ball, it's short. Root does pull around the corner. Do they take one? They do. So he's done the hard bit, if you like, which is getting the bloke back on strike. We've seen in the Quarantine Cup it can be, on occasion, difficult to get the player on strike you want at the right time, but that's out of the way. Clark bowling to Douthwaite. Will he go again? He elects to play off the back foot. Doesn't make contact. Complicated, or sorry, I should say, not the most straightforward of shots, but trying to take a ball from well outside the off stump through mid-wicket. No contact made. Clark again. Douthwaite, this time punching through mid-wicket. Just to the man on the edge of the circle. They're happy with the single. 45 for 4, where 3 balls rather into the fourth over, 46 for 4 over.
Things just starting to normalise a bit here, aren't they, after the histrionics of the previous over. Surrey will still be mindful of the fact that one more wicket and they're more than in it, but Sophia Dunkley hasn't been that crash hot on the controls with the bat. She won't want to be chasing anything more than 50, you wouldn't have thought.
So it's Jordan Clark to Billy Root. He's 8 from 5 balls. He's already been dropped once. Bowls here and Root goes big. Has he gone over the top as well? He struck that really well. Has it gone all the way? It has. 99 yards, just clearing the rope there at deep, fine leg. Out towards the fans as they enter at the north side of the ground. Clark goes again to Root, straight back to his mark. This time pulling along the ground for one to the sweeper in front of the Bradman stand. They're happy with the single.
Buzzers!
Buzzers! Buzzers, and 4 of them. 1 becomes 5, as the Spice Girls said, when 2 become 1. Nothing worse than when 1 becomes 5.
Oh, and who is responsible for that? There should be somebody backing up. It was a decent enough throw. It was around about the stumps. Man comes in off the boundary. A nice, fast, accurate throw towards the stumps. And there's Batty. Batty is just, I don't know where he is there. His mind is elsewhere. He's probably wondering why the hell he wasn't bowling in the previous over. He's a veteran of over 45 years experience, and yet still, well, 5 runs, and how crucial could they be?
Clark to Root. It goes again over the top of the man at deep backward square, and the result is the same. 4 more runs for Billy Root. A big over for the Southpaw, profiting from a series of deliveries outside his leg stump. Glamorgan To think they could have been all out in the third over. Now at the end of the fourth over, they're 61 for 4, and now they are in the box seat. How quickly 5 over cricket momentum can change everything.
Well, 15 runs off those last 3 balls, wasn't it? You know, at 46 for 4, Surrey and Dunkley still very much in it, those 15 runs. It feels like it's taken Glamorgan to an unassailable position. Look at this. Will Jacks is on. That's what Dunkley's saying to Batty. She's saying, no way, mate. You know, you do not deserve a bowl.
She's retiring.
Not after... Oh, she is, I think.
Will Jacks to Douthwaite. All the runs in the previous over from this end. He plays and misses the first one here, though, outside the off stump. Douthwaite, 21 from 7 balls on 3 occasions, going big. Jacks to him here. Douthwaite trying to go over mid-wicket. Has it gone far enough? I don't reckon it has. He's taken. So Glamorgan are bowled out for 61. Douthwaite does fall after an entertaining and enterprising 21. They fall 4 deliveries short of batting out there a lot of time, Daniel Norcross, but 62 looks quite the target considering where they were.
Well, do you know, that target should be 31. It should be exactly half. They dropped Douthwaite so crucially. Jordan Clark dropping him when the score was 30 for 4 halfway through the third over. Curiously bowled, if you'll recall, by Scott Borthwick. But look, fair play to Billy Root, 23 off 8, and Dan Douthwaite out there off the last ball of the innings. They left 4 balls still to be bowled there. But Will Jacks picking up the wicket. Ollie Pope with a comfortable catch, 21 off 8. It's literally, you have to say, sometimes catches do not win matches. I mean, especially when you take catches and you lose matches. But on this occasion, I think Dunkley's going to look back on that and go, she had the game in her grasp. She will be gazing right now into the middle distance, knowing where it all went wrong. Still,
so Marchant Delunga starts the defence for Glamorgan, bowling to Jason Roy into the Surrey side today, and first ball on leg stump. Push towards mid-wicket. There's no run there. So a dot to begin the Glamorgan defence, albeit one at 95 miles an hour. Get him in the international ranks bowling at that sort of pace. Marchant Delunga, the right arm super quick. Glamorgan seamer on his way to Jason Roy, short of a length. This time straight back over his head. That's a nice strike of the ball. That's vintage Jason Roy. Loves hitting through the line of it. There are Surrey's first runs in pursuit of 62.
It's what Surrey's been missing, isn't it? Now they've got Jason Roy at the top of the order. They've got Sam Curran. They've got Ollie Pope. They've got some firepower. And Jason Roy, well, that's a trademark. Roy's shot, really, straight back over the bowler's head. 1 bounce for.
How will Delunga bounce back? Delivering here to Roy. Short. He goes down the ground once more. Through the circle. Down towards the sweeper at long off. They have to settle for a single. So 5 for no loss. Sam Curran is the other opening batsman. Of course, we saw Sam Curran opening the IPL last year, Daniel, so it's not without precedent.
Oh, not in the least. No. He's he'll aim, you would think, straight. He likes it over sort of wide, long on, long off. It can be his downfall, though, as well.
Delunga on the way to Curran, wide outside the off stump, so wide that you'd imagine that'll be signalled wide. You have to think that'll be signalled wide. They're going upstairs to look at the stumping. Well, inside the tram tracks just. Curran did drag his back foot, but it looks to me as though his foot is grounded when the ball... Oh, gosh, it's a close call.
It's close, isn't it?
How is the third umpire going to make that decision? We go up to the scoreboard to find out. Not out is the call made by the TV official. So Curran will survive. Lucky he dragged the back foot and had the spikes down the whole time, Daniel.
Sharp work as well, though, from Cook. I don't like to see too much of that. Bit village in a way. If he really wants to take the stumps, the bails off, he might want to consider standing up. But maybe he considers there's too much heat from Delunga to risk that. Let's see, we've got a long on, deep mid-wicket cover point.
So he's going to go around the wicket, Delunga, with 2 balls to go. In at Curran, close to the stumps he delivers, and Curran off the back foot pushing. It's straight to the man at cover. They take a single anyway, which is sharp running, you must say. Surrey 6 for no loss, and 1 ball to go in the first over. Remember, their target is 62, so they're going to have to start finding the roping soon. Last ball, back over the wicket to the senior man, Jason Roy. Delunga bowls outside the off stump. Swing and a miss. Oh, I'll tell you what, ample movement at 93 mile an hour. Not many people are hitting that. The end of the first over, they haven't lost a wicket, so wickets are a premium. Mostly when batting first up, must be said. They need runs. They need Jason Roy to explode.
It's a decent over there, you know, from DeLonge. A lot of variation, and I think that's the key in 5-over cricket. You've got to keep the batting side guessing, haven't you? And DeLonge has bowled both sides of the wicket there.
So Lucas Carey to Sam Curran. First ball. Outside the off stump. Down the ground. Nicely played by Curran. Beating the man racing around from deep extra cover. Runs into the rope at the southern end of the ground. Curran, his first boundary.
That's what he can do, Sam Curran. I said to you earlier, look for him to go down the ground. That's his favoured area. If I were Walker here, I'd just be pulling that length back a touch.
Carey to Curran off the back foot, straight to the man at extra cover. There's a dive required there from Roy to make his ground. There's a shout for
here.
I can't quite tell what they're appealing for, but it does mean that Roy's back on strike with the score 11 for no loss. 51 of 22 needed. Can Roy go big? Kerry bowls to him here, and he swings and misses. It's very wide. They've thrown the stumps down and appealed again. So we've had another instance of where a Surrey player has had their back foot go wandering, but again, the TV umpire would be saying not out, I'd imagine.
I would think so. I think there's enough doubt there. There's a little bit of toe surely behind the line. I mean, if Cook keeps on doing this, he could start getting extremely irritating. I once played with a wicketkeeper who did this. In the end, our first slip threatened to lynch him if he did it one more time. And, I mean, there's something hideously village about it. I don't mind if the man's out of his ground, but this is just taking up valuable time.
And time the score, the umpire needs to go over and sort the stumps out. They never like that either. Didn't do any favours in the long term, I don't think.
No.
Breaking the bails for no particular reason. So Carey to Roy. He's on 5. He'll turn that into at least 6. And they'll be happy with the single. So off the back foot punching. 12 for no loss. So no wickets as yet, but 51 needed from how many balls to come? 20 balls. 50 from 20, I should say. So nice even numbers, but a big mountain to climb for Surrey. Curran's on strike. He's beaten here.
Oh, he's done it again.
3 times now he's thrown the stumps down. The umpire's shaking his head saying, sod off. Go away.
Yeah. Well, we all are. I mean, frankly, we all are.
So the last ball of this carry over, another frugal one to Curran. Goes out to point. They take the single. Nearly a run out. Not to be, but I tell you what, 2 very tidy overs from Glamorgan to begin their defence. Both of them have gone for 6, I believe. There's Dan Douthwaite, the danger man with the bat earlier, now gets his opportunity with the ball. 13 for none is the score. 49 needed from 18 balls. As Douthwaite starts around the wicket to Curran. Outside the off stump and beaten again. And for a 4th occasion, the keeper's thrown the stumps down. Norkie, we can't be having this.
No, I mean, it's accurate. But I think what he's doing is he's so infuriated the umpire that the umpire's not giving the clear and blatant wide.
Douthwaite around the wicket to Curran. That's straighter. Played straight down the ground. He's hit that really well, Sam Curran. But he's been dropped. He's been dropped. Well, there you go. Off the bat, it looked as though it was going all the way. It was hit hard and flat. There was a man there running back from inside the circle at mid-on. He had an opportunity to turn around just in time and get his hands up. But it wasn't to be. The catch goes down. And you've got to say that might be in the interest of Glamorgan, given how slowly these two are scoring now.
Well, yeah, I wonder how deliberate that was from Carlson there at mid-on. It's a similar catch, of course, to the pivotal moment in Glamorgan's innings.
Indeed. Douthwaite was involved there as well. He bowls here around the wicket to Curran, striking nicely through extra cover, but straight to the man on the rope. So Curran's now finding the middle of his blade, but just not into the gaps. Only 3 outside the circle, of course. Spoilt for choice as to where he directs the ball, but no, not to be.
Got to find the boundary, and they've got to find it very soon.
Douthwaite over the wicket here to Roy. The opener goes through mid-wicket, wide mid-wicket, and that looks to be big enough. Yes, 103 yards to be precise, over the rope. That's been the favoured corner of the ground so far today, that northeastern corner here at Adelaide Oval. Jason Roy hits his first big one, and Surrey have a glimmer of hope.
Hardly a follow-through at all, there was it? It was a little more than a push, an aerial push. The timing for that, absolutely perfect. Surrey needed it, they needed it badly.
So 2 balls to come in the Douthwaite over. He bowls again to Roy off the back foot to the man with extra cover on the circle. Enough time to rotate for a single, but again, that's not what they need. 23 for no loss. We're nearing the end of the 3rd over.
Well, look, if they were chasing 40 to win, this would be absolutely epic stuff from Dunkley, but they're not. They're chasing 62, and they've got to get a move on. Still
they
haven't
need
lost
3
a wicket.
a ball from this stage. 39 from 13. Douthwaite, his last ball of the over. Wide outside on the leg stump. Curran goes, I'll have a bit of that. But straight to the man on the boundary line and dropped. Well, I tell you what, it's all happening here at Adelaide Oval once again. It looked as though Curran off the bat had done enough to pop it into the football stand. Instead, he put it straight down the throat of the sweeper, but he's put down the easiest of chances. Talk us through it, Daniel Norcross.
Well, I tell you, that ball hung in the air for a long, long time. I mean, you do get a little cross breeze here at the Adelaide Oval, as people have been here a few times will know, and that probably just held up in that breeze. And then, simple catch on the boundary, but you were saying earlier, you know, is there something here that Glamorgan trying to keep Sam Curran in? This might be a plan, you know, because he hasn't been able to get going. Curran's still stuck there. What's he got? 11 off 10.
As Graham Wagg starts the 4th over. 38 from 2 overs needed. Curran, the man on strike, and he does go down the ground, but only as far as the man at mid-off. So the pattern continues. His strike rate stays below 100. The required rate is through the roof.
There's no timing in that shot at all, is there? And Surrey fans the world over will be terrified by the sight of Graham Wagg. He frequently does well against them.
Wagg to Roy, beating him outside the off stump. And the keeper's throwing the stumps down once again. It won't demand third umpire's attention. Yeah, I'd say spirit of cricket. Spirit of cricket needs to be looked at here. Wagg to Roy, through mid-wicket. Straight to the man, running around on the circle. Well, I tell you what, I thought he got it through the gap, but some sharp work there from the man at mid-on, turning himself into a mid-wicket in no time at all. And at last, Jason Roy is gone, and Surrey lose their first wicket in the 4th over, but they have so much work to do.
So much work to do, and that wasn't the man they wanted out. And yet again, Graham Wagg comes back to haunt Surrey. He's done this over the years. I've seen him take hundreds, take 5-wicket hauls, and now he's got a danger man out, Jason Roy. You do start to wonder, don't you, about that Glamorgan fielding. 2 simple chances shelled off the bat of Sam Curran, and then that much sharper one at mid-wicket. He had to make good ground to his right and plucked the ball safely out of the sky, did Carlson. Roy goes for 13 off 10. It wasn't his most fluent innings, if truth be told. So
they cross. So Curran's on strike, and he's going to fail to make adequate contact for the umpteenth time. They come back for 2 byes. I'll tell you what, they've done well there. I think they've rotated for a couple of byes, or a couple of leg byes, I should say, from the protective equipment of Sam Curran. But I would say you'd almost want Ollie Pope on strike here, not Curran, but he's there still on 12 from 12 balls. Wagg, 2 balls to go in his set, delivers to Curran, short of a length, hitting it straight to the man at cover. Curran's painful stay finally comes to an end. He falls for 12 from 13 balls, 2 wickets in the over for Graham Wagg. Surrey have lost their 2nd wicket, and well, it's just about game over. Not because of the wickets column down, but they just need too many runs.
Well, they've been going nowhere, have they? They just haven't been able to time it at all, and Curran's been the biggest culprit in that. It's been a slow, claggy innings. 12, as you say, off. What was it in the end? 12 off 13 balls in 5 over cricket. That is absolutely catastrophic. He's just plinked it. I mean, fair play to Wagg once more. That low shoulder, bowling the ball into the pitch, rolling the fingers over the ball. It's just stuck there again. He's only got the toe end of the bat. Simple, simple catch for a Roman Walker.
35 off 7 needed as Spokes walks to the middle. He immediately tries to switch hit, doesn't make contact, which means that from the final over, Wagg outstanding, I should say, in the penultimate set. 2 wickets, nothing on offer for the Glamorgan players at any stage there. They're 27 for 2. Roman Walker has 37 runs to play with, so so long as he gets the ball down there on the straight and narrow, they can't lose this.
Yep, I mean, 1 dot ball, they're pretty much home and host, aren't they, really?
35 off 6, I should say. First ball of this last over gets taken down towards deep fine leg. It'll just about make it to the boundary. It will. So that leaves some 31 from 5 balls, Daniel. You have to say that means they need an extra to make it viable. But Ollie Pope does.
They could tie.
It's a good point. They can keep this season alive with a tie. No, not here they won't. Oh, here we go. Tell you what, that's a fine strike of the ball. Ollie Pope, 116 yards, first ball he's faced today. That's class. Nearly onto the hill underneath the scoreboard here.
Well, he's been stuck in the dugout, chuntering with furious rage as Roy and Sam Curran have eaten up all those balls, and he's walked straight out to the wicket. The finest batsman in world cricket, bar none, with a first-class average over 60, and he's smashed his first ball for 6 to keep Surrey's hopes a flicker of hope alive.
It's a short ball, and those hopes are extinguished. It goes straight to point. They take a single, but in the absence of some fairly creative accounting, that's going to be it as far as Surrey are concerned.
Well, I mean,
38 for 2. They need 4 from 3 balls. Remember the old Super 8s, Martin Crowe's competition. They need that right now. Around the wicket goes Walker. A big outside edge there from Pope. It runs away to the boundary. He moves to 15, but it's all for nothing from this point. Surrey season, their last group game. It's season over here, isn't it? They're going to go through the competition without winning a game.
Well, you've just got to feel a little bit for Dunkley here, because you can see, had they taken that catch, had Jordan Clark taken that catch, the target would have been 31 to win. And they would have cruised there playing
Absolutely.
this risk-free cricket. But in the end, well, I mean, it's time for the post-mortems, isn't it?
Walker to Pope. He can't make contact this time. It goes out towards point, I think off his helmet or his shoulder. We'll see if the umpire makes a signal. He doesn't, so he might have got an inside edge. But last ball of the game, Walker to close it out for Glamorgan. Have been outstanding with the ball. They're on the cusp of lodging their second win from 2 starts. Walker, who'll be over the wicket to Pope. 19 runs in theory needed, so it doesn't matter that fantastic contact has been made. Over the rope, out towards the Bradman stand for 6 to finish for Surrey. But it matters not a jot, for they are the losers here today. They've lost by 12 runs. Glamorgan the victors, and Glamorgan for their part, Daniel Norcross. They move forward to their next fixture with 2 wins under their belt. So they are now won in their first game against Leicestershire by 4 wickets. They've defeated Surrey by 12 runs to deal with Glamorgan first and foremost. They have 4 points from their 2 games. They're behind Sussex, who are on 6 points from 3 games, but they have a game in hand on them. They next play Kent on Wednesday. Surrey, as I've mentioned before, their tournament is over. They've lost 4 from 4. And you've got to say, Daniel, that they missed their opportunities today on the field, but the selection table, it's been a curious campaign from the team at the Oval.
Well, it really has from Dunkley. I sort of wonder if she's seeing this as a development competition. And she's really kind of got into her stride towards the back end there. That last over, she picked up 22 runs. Ollie Pope, 17 of 4 balls. Where was he earlier in the tournament? Missing some of their bigger guns in those earlier matches. Dunkley probably just finding her feet just a little bit too late. Props to Glamorgan, they played well today, but they will realise just how lucky they were. They got off to an appalling start losing those 4 early wickets. They could easily have been bundled out for 30-odd. In the end, though, they came back well. Strong performances from Billy Root with the bat and Dan Douthwaite, of course, and Graham Wagg, the perennial thorn in Surrey's side. A victory for Glamorgan by 12 runs. We look forward to seeing if they can progress further in the competition, but it's all over for Sophia, Dunkley and for Surrey.
Indeed it is. So Glamorgan very well placed, Surrey all over. Tomorrow in the Quarantine Cup on the cricketer.com we have another double header. At 2 p.m. we're over in Group 1, Nottinghamshire versus Warwickshire. 2 teams that are struggling down the bottom of Group 1. And at 5 p.m, a much more important game is to see whether Kent or Leicestershire can push themselves into the top 2 of Group 2. Of course, don't miss a moment on the cricketer.com of the Quarantine Cup. Adam Collins and Daniel Norcross signing off.
So, Sophia, you finish without a win in the competition, but was this your best performance of the Quarantine Cup?
I think, yeah, it was up there with against Sussex. I think came back quite strong towards the end of our batting innings. We wanted to be a bit more brutal, I guess, and I think we were coming back, but it was a little bit too late, unfortunately.
Too much to do in the end? You conceded just too many runs?
I think so. We've gone a little bit hard at the start, I think, and a bit of luck on our side, but yeah, no, could have gone a bit earlier.
How much do you put your performance in this campaign down to the struggle to get team selection right early on?
Yeah, I think maybe if we would have our team a bit better, a bit more precise in the first 2 games, it might have helped us secure some wins. I think we've got it right going into the last 2 games. But again, too late for the competition, really.
It was an unusual decision to leave out both Currans and Jason Roy for your early matches, and it doesn't seem to have paid off. Do you think that maybe next time around you'll go about it slightly differently?
I think so. I think, we're trying to protect our big guns a bit at the start, but I think definitely in the future we're going to have to bring them out as soon as possible. It didn't pay off this time round, unfortunately.
Well, unlucky, Sophia, but thanks for taking part in the Quarantine Cup and best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
So we say goodbye to Sophia Dunkley from this season's Quarantine Cup, but for Glamorgan and Roman Walker, the chase is still very much on. 2 wins out of 2 for them, sees them second behind Sussex in the Group 2 standings. A crucial game coming, as Colo was saying, against Kent. That will likely determine which is going to challenge for that final place, but still plenty up in the air. Remember that teams had decided on their final position via boundary countback should they be tied at the end of the group stage, and still a chance, of course, for Hassan Azad, though it's a very outside chance at that. Right, that's all that we've got time for your Saturday fix of Quarantine Cup cricket, but 2 games tomorrow. Nottinghamshire and Warwickshire, a dead rubber playing for Pride at 2 o'clock, and then a big one, Kent and Leicestershire at 5. Join us for that.
Cricket, our national treasure? Or dying irrelevance? Bodyline, tactical genius? Or national disgrace? The 100, inspired innovation? Or misguided mistake? Join the cricket conversation with a subscription to the Cricketer magazine.